Hey guys, it's Mike here over in Taiwan. Kind of weird angle. Anyway, I just want to talk about how I feel like things have changed a lot in Taiwan since I've been here. And I only just thought about it when I went to the McDonald's yesterday. I saw some lady, some foreigner lady, and she was trying to like talk to like the old dude at McDonald's and like in English. And I mean, like that's cool, but at the same time, you have to like realize who you're talking to. Like the old dude like probably doesn't know English, so you should probably use Chinese. And then yeah, they'll be like, well, I don't really know how to speak that or whatever. So I think it's just communication is just getting more and more awkward. I mean, when I got here, I'd say that a lot of the foreigners that I met would kind of use like just kind of funny expressions or whatever it is that Taiwanese people would use too. And I think that's cool that they're trying to adapt a little bit more to the situation. So yeah, that was great. But yeah, so like I'm trying to like just go on social media more and with more Mandarin, using more Chinese, and I feel like it's working a lot. But at the same time, it's kind of like putting me into like a corner because to be honest with you, my Mandarin isn't really that good. But like I'm trying to upgrade every day. I have like a lesson that I do every week, of which I do have to schedule my lesson probably sometime today or whatever it is. And I think that there's kind of an untapped market that people, especially foreigners, they don't really look at. A lot of, I would say probably the job market with foreigners is luck, because they happen to bump into somebody who knows somebody, and then they'll kind of slot them in, and because they encounter that that person, then they're going to go to that job or whatever it is. So I've been kind of trying to figure out another way where I can just make my own schedule. I figured out at the medium to highest level of pay, if I'm going to be working at that, then the only thing that I need to per hour is work maybe 3 hours a day. And then I'm okay, right? And 3 hours a day, 7 days a week is actually 21 hours a week, right? So it's pretty much, it's a lot, right? And teaching it takes a lot out of you, I think. I don't know, I feel like sometimes you have to know when you're at the end of your rope. You have to know when you're thinking, okay, well, I don't really want to do this teaching thing anymore. I don't want to say necessarily that I'm at the end of it, because I do like teaching sometimes, but there's kind of other times where I just feel like I was doing something else. When I have like, I don't really want to talk about this too much, but rebellious students, because the thing is that I've always told people that if you want to teach English in Taiwan, you're going to have to teach kids, not adults. Adults, they quit, they have other obligations. They're going to, I don't want to say that they're going to ghost you or whatever, but at the same time, they have other stuff to do. I've actually had some students, and I won't get into really specifics, but the fact of the matter is that they were adults, and they'd say stuff like, "Oh, I forgot about the lesson. Oh, can you schedule it for another time?" And then you schedule it for that other time, and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't have time right now," right? And it's kind of like you're asking them like, "Okay, well, are you going to do this lesson or not? Are you going to pay me for my time or not?" And they want you kind of to accommodate them, and then when you don't accommodate them, then they get mad about it. I don't know. I think it's honestly a little bit juvenile. It's a little bit childish, but that's why you have to have rules in place, especially if you're going to start doing private lessons more and more. Like if you cancel at the last minute, then I get to keep half, or actually no. If you cancel 12 hours before the lesson starts, then I get to keep half. But if you cancel at the last minute, then I get to keep all of it or something, and get students to prepay. So that's just kind of something from the English teaching standpoint. I think the reason why I really want to do these kind of 10-minute snippets where I'm just talking about stuff about Taiwan is because, to be honest with you, I feel like I don't really have that many people to talk to. And I know that sounds like I'm crying about it or whatever, but it's weird in Taiwan. I've seen especially some stuff on social media where they say, well, I've had enough of this and I want to go home and blah, blah, blah. And I could probably see why, but I think a lot of people are not really they don't really put their finger on it. They don't really say, okay, well, this is the problem, right? And they'll just say, well, I feel sad, or there's not enough friends here, or I don't have enough things to do, and blah blah blah, right? And I think if you're a foreigner in Taiwan, you really need to change your kind of thinking about the way that you think about socializing and yourself, and you should be probably willing to take some time and spend it by yourself, and not be with friends so much and hang out. I mean, that's what I was used to when I was probably in my 20s, but like now I'm getting up there in age and I don't really feel like it's that necessary. I'd rather just like spend time with family and go to places that I really want to go to, instead of like hanging out at the bar like for no particular reason. I remember one story when I was over in Taipei, and then there's a bunch of people like hanging out together, foreigners and mixed, like Taiwanese as well, whatever. But there was maybe about 7 or 8 of them, and they were just all hanging out by themselves. And it was clear that they kind of really didn't want to know anybody else unless they had something to offer. Being that I could speak English and I understand like when people are talking. I was at this bar one late night, and then this lady was just complaining about her boyfriend or her ex or whatever, and her foreign guy, and how he leaves her alone. And a lot of foreign guys would kind of take that as a knight in shining armor moment, where they would be like, okay, well, I'm going to come in here and maybe I could be her boyfriend or something, right? But the only thing is that she was looking for a shoulder to cry on, and especially in English. So it was kind of like a big time waster. And I really, I don't know, at that time anyway, I was a little bit naive to thinking that you could make some type of a relationship or something out of that, but you can't. And there's tons and tons of people, kind of the English speaking community, where they're trying to learn English or whatnot, and the only thing is that they're looking for somebody to listen. And I'm not really at the point where I just want to volunteer my time, and that sounds a little bit like I'm a jerk, but why am I going to give my time to you for free? In order for you to, moan and complain about something that you have no control over anyway. Sometimes I feel like being an English teacher with adults is kind of like being a psychiatrist in a way, because you're dealing with some of their like mental and emotional problems on top of everything else. And I mean, it is what it is, right? I think that's kind of another tip that I would give people about Taiwan. If you're going to be coming here, working, living, is that you're going to have to work a lot on your psyche, your psychology, because people say that people in Taiwan are very shy. I don't think that they're shy at all. They're very direct about the way that they want things, especially when they get older. It's just that they need a reason, and they need a reason to come out of their comfort zone and go and talk to you. I used to have a friend, Mark, back in Canada, and it just wasn't like Taiwanese people, but he'd say like Asians in general. He'd be like, why don't these Asians come up and talk to me? It's because they have a small comfort zone. Like, yeah, they want to go like learn English, and they'll, Asians are most of the students that are going to be going to do, studying abroad and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean that they want to go and hang out with you and, have a coffee or have a beer, and they're not going to just come up to you and say, hey, hi, my name is blah blah blah, whatever. They're not going to do that, right? And so it's kind of like I don't know if you guys know this guy Dirty Harry. It's like a guy who's in a movie from like the 80s or something. One of the things that he used to always say is that you got to know your limitations, right? You got to know the limitations of other people too. And if you kind of go out there as a foreigner and think that everything is going to happen to you and people are going to talk to you and everything is just going to be spoon-fed, you're going to get a lot of attention, but it's kind of like only shallow attention. So, guys, this is kind of like my update. I just want to, say everything that I want to say for the morning, and then I'm probably going to come out with another video tomorrow. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.